What do I mean by the toxicity of that role, though? I think, based on my experience, it's like a lot of the time, within this movement and everything, there can be an expectation that's foisted on me to just kind of shut up and let women always have the floor. You know, they're the only ones that get to speak, and so anytime a man is speaking, it's robbing from her, being able to say anything. And I just, yeah. I mean, I try to be equitable, I try to let everybody speak, but, you know, I had a very terrible, emotional reaction to Roe versus Wade being overturned. I did not. It was a stressor for me to, realize with down at Planned Parenthood they had basically been shouting, "Oh, I'll just take matters into my own hands," and everything. And as I got more and more of these stories started to filter into me, it was starting to bum me out. I was starting to cry, and I think, you know, based on my experience of fighting for the movement, at times it has gone there where it's like, women are, they force that expectation if you're a feminist on you, where it's like you're expected to let women have the floor constantly. You're not allowed to ever, basically be the one holding the mic. And, unfortunately, it's like I'm willing to acknowledge, that women have, if there's an oppression Olympics, like, screw it, I yield. Women have obviously won that fight. They've got the worst end of the stick. Because even me, it is very much so a man's world, and even me, who, sometimes encounters ultimately the heartache of fighting for this movement and the empathetic distress that it can cause for the opposite sex. Even me, I don't have to deal with the same shit that women do. But by the same breath, this was a body blow for me, and I don't want to have to just shut the fuck up about it, within feminist circles. That's the problem, I guess, at the end of the day, is that, like, I'm willing to be and to fight and to do, like, my ballot. Obviously, I'm gonna vote in favor of doing anything I can to advance women's rights and to restore what's been taken from them and everything. I will vote in accord with heavy consideration for how the people that I put into office will deal with women and everything. Like, that's why I've been voting blue so goddamn often and everything. But, I think that one of the things that pisses me off is that that is treated as if that's not a big fucking deal. And it is a fucking huge deal. It's like within feminist circles, apparently it doesn't matter who the leader of the free world is, or really of America, of the United States, because the rest of the world's also free too. But much of it is. But the thing about it is that politics matters. The people in power matter, and here I am voting in a very feminist fashion, and that apparently they don't realize the significance of it, and how much that fucking matters and counts. And apparently, so when I talk about how Roe hurt my feelings and when it busted, I'm not saying, oh, we're the real victims, or that, we're the ones that suffer more than women. I'm just saying, hey, this hurt.